Hello viewers, welcome to Elimu TV. This is Wainoga Jen taking you through chemistry form 1. Our first topic in chemistry is introduction to chemistry. And in the topic, what are our expectations? We require by the end of the lesson to be in a position to define what chemistry is. We also need to remember the various topics that we learned previously in our primary school and be in a position to connect them to the current chemistry that we are learning in the secondary schools. 3, we'll need to also know the laboratory apparatus that we use in this topic, and we'll also need to see how are they used in our laboratories. We'll see up a setup of the chemistry lab and the apparatus in it and see what is the functions of all the apparatus that are used in the chemistry laboratory. We move back now to our introduction. Science was a subject learned in our primary schools, and once we come to secondary school, it is branched into 3 main sciences. We have chemistry, biology, and physics. So, what is chemistry? Chemistry is the scientific study of the structure and composition of the various things that we have in nature and the way they behave. Previously, our primary school teacher took us through what is science, and science we learned it is the systematic study of the things that are found in it and the changes that are involved in it and also the reasons of the changes that are occurring in it. Therefore, once we now come to chemistry in secondary, we look at those structures that are found in nature, their composition, and the way they behave towards various conditions that are they are subjected to. Back in our primary school work in science, we learned a number of topics, that is 1, properties of matter, 2, mixtures, 3, separation of mixtures, 4, drugs, and 5, pollution. Those are some of the topics that we looked at, and once now we come in to the secondary chemistry, we are going to have a review of what we learned. We start with the first one. What is matter? Matter is anything that has mass and can be in a position to occupy space. We also learned that there are 3 states of matter. We have solids, liquids, and gases. Once we get now to the secondary chemistry, we will see that the solid, liquid, and gas, which are the states of matter, can be interconvertible. They can change from one state to the other depending on the forces or depending on anything that they are subjected to. So, if we have the solid, the liquid, and the gas, and we apply some slight heat on the solid will always change its state to a liquid. If we also apply heat on the liquid will always change its state to a gas. On the other hand, if we decide now to cool down the gas changes its state to a liquid, and the liquid also, if it is further cooled, it changes its state to a solid. So those are the states of matter and the way they are interconvertible. We also looked at the differences between the various states of matter, and these differences gives us the major characteristics of those states of matter. For example, if we look at number 1, the shape of the solid, the liquid, and the gas, we realize that the solid has a definite shape. The liquid also takes the shape of the container, and therefore we'll say that it has that definite shape, while the gas has totally no shape. Number 2, if we look at their volumes, the volume of a solid is always fixed. The volume of a liquid also is fixed, but that of the gas, it is not fixed. If we look at number 3, their density, the density of the solid is always very high. That of a liquid is fairly high, and that one of a gas, it is very low. If we also look at the way the various states of matter flow, the solid will never flow, the liquid will flow, but the gas will also flow the most. If we look at also the next one, number 5, the solid, if we look at the particles making it up, the particles in it are always put together. They appear very close to each other. If we look at those ones in the liquid state, the distance between them is a bit far away from one another, unlike that one of the solid which is stuck together. If we look at then the gas particles, their packing is very different. They look to be very far away from one another, and that gives us the reason as to why the gas can be able to flow very well. So that is all about our states of matter. So we can give various examples of our states of matter. For example, the solid, we can give an example of a stone. If we look at a liquid, we can give an example of water. And for the gas, we can give an example of oxygen, hydrogen, or helium, and many more. Still back into our primary school work, we looked at what is called a conductor and non-conductors. What is a conductor? Our primary school teacher told us that a conductor is any substance which can allow an electric current to flow through. So we have various examples in that. For example, we have metals and a non-metal which we call graphite. Those elements allow an electric current to flow through them. The non-conductors then, what are they? Non-conductors are those substances that cannot allow an electric current to flow through them. Therefore, they include things like the table, the solids, pieces of wood, pieces of stones. All those cannot allow any electric current to flow through them, and therefore we give them the name non-conductors. So viewers, that is all what we have for our first lesson. And to have a review of it, we have defined what science is, which we have said it is the systematic study of things in nature and the changes that are involved in it. We have defined what is chemistry, which we have said it is the study of the structure, composition, and the way they behave when subjected to the various conditions that we find in the environment. We have also looked at the various topics that we studied in our primary school, that is the states of matter, mixtures, separation of the mixtures, drugs, pollution. We have also defined what matter is, which we have said that it is a substance which has mass and it occupies space. We have also seen the various states of matter, that is the liquid, the gas, and the solid. And we have also seen the differences between the 3 states of matter that we have. So viewers, grab your books and your pen and write for me more examples of the conductors that we have in our environment and the non-conductors. For now, we come to the end of our lesson. So keep tuned to Elimu TV. Thank you.